he writes about his unit as he comes up, toward the situation at Mons like this. Quote, "We swapped news with the nearest men in the ranks and learned that nothing exciting had happened to the battalion in our absence, except that a line of trenches had been dug as a defensive measure about a mile behind and then abandoned on the orders of a staff officer who wished the battalion to move forward toward the town of Mons, now visible through the slag heaps of many mines on the right front of the marching regiment. This dirty-looking factory town had no particular interest just then for us, until suddenly, above the sound of the tread of our marching feet, we heard the booming of field guns, a queer, thrilling, and menacing sound, about which there were many conjectures, the most popular being that they were French 75s, and that they were giving the Germans hell. This notion greatly depressed us. We should really hurry up now, otherwise we would miss the battle. The French would get all the glory, while we, with our capacity for deadly rifle fire and dash in the attack, would miss that crowning moment of victory, culminating in a sweeping bayonet charge, relentless and invincible, the grand assault that would drive the enemy off the field. So we damned the French for not waiting for us." End quote. There's that romance of war again. The great adventure. It's going to be fun. We're going to be heroes. And it's funny when he first gets to the line. He and his men take up positions in what they call knee trenches, these shallow little kind of holes, and they're not too happy to not be moving forward and doing something offensive. But they sit down there, and then the first shells come by them. And again, they find it more interesting, and they kind of have fun with it. He says, quote, "The salvo of shells passed over our heads and burst about 80 yards in the rear with a terrific clattering crash. We were highly interested. More came, and still more, all going over. The heads of our curious men appeared above the trenches, looking back to see the bursts. 'Look,' they shouted, 'a black one,' or 'one only,' or 'four more whites.' Some laughingly imagined themselves on duty at rifle ranges at home and shouted advice to the German gunners. 'Wash out,' 'another miss,' and 'lower your sights.' One wag, simulating great terror, cried, 'Send for the police, there's going to be a row on here,' and another in mock despair, 'Oh, mother, why did I desert you?' Then the enemy gunners shortened, and the shells exploded above our trenches, and the men, already taken in hand for exposing themselves, crouched low." So, it's getting real, right? But it shows you the attitude